Searching podcasts for Dave, and one more time.
Boy, the round of applause he's getting right now is pretty staggering. And you had to imagine that's what was going to happen.
And 3.
Number 2.
Follow that with a 1.
Woohoo!
America, America, you know who you are.
Right.
We know who you are. And you are welcome. What are they welcome for?
Because of us.
For the opportunity to say, hi, everybody. How are you? I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And this is Dave and Juan.
More time.
Thank you kindly on a Sunday afternoon as we start doing this. As Juan, his attention may be a little divided. He's watching.
I got a little baseball game going on, but it's almost over.
Watching the LSU baseball team try to climb back. Is this to go to Omaha? Is that how this works out?
No. If they win this, then they've got to beat UNC, who beat them yesterday twice, in order to go to Super Regionals next weekend.
I get confused.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a long shot at this point.
I do get confused, but good luck to them. Our Colonels had a valiant effort, made a valiant effort in the tournament, but they were sent home to the lovely confines of Thibodaux, Louisiana.
And if you got to go home,
you
might as well go to Thibodaux.
Might as well. But we were chatting just before. It's a topic, we would never. So we talk about Caitlin Clark, and those of you that don't know who Caitlin Clark is, she is the rookie player with the WNBA. She was leading scorer in all of college basketball history. Really, the only reason anybody watched any.
And basically a source of change, if you think about it, in the WNBA, because they used to fly commercial. Now they're flying charter.
I don't know that you can put a fine enough point on what kind of impact one player can have. And let's establish this. And look, I say this from being a guy who I literally went to a WNBA game back in forever ago. I wasn't even living in Texas at the time. I was traveling. I lived in Georgia. I was staying at a hotel connected to what used to be the Compaq Center. Now it's Joel Osteen's church. Because I was staying at the hotel connected to the arena, and Houston had a WNBA team they were the champions. I think it might have been the inaugural season, or
I don't know. I've not only never been to one, I've never watched one.
Dude, I think Cheryl Swoops was on the team. So a buddy of mine who lived, we went to it must have been the inaugural season. We went to a WNBA game just to, hey, it's Brian. So
maybe there
shows you how garbage this league has been forever. Even Houston's not a small place. Houston is a pretty big place. We got every sport in the world here, save hockey. But I think they say Fertitta is going to try to get a hockey team here. But the team folded. They won the first 2 or 3 championships.
Yeah,
the team folded. The WNBA hasn't made a nickel.
No.
And it's whatever, and it's paid for by the NBA. They sort of throw, and it has been it's just nobody wants. It's historically been pretty ugly basketball to watch. It's not okay. Then you got this player, this Caitlin Clark, who, and I got to be honest, I didn't know who she was until last year.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Iowa comes out, and then and we're cheering for, and I was actually going into that cheering for LSU last year because I like Kim Mulkey. I didn't know the LSU women's basketball team. Now,
nor did I.
As the tournament went on and as that game went on, I found myself rooting for Iowa because I just thought it was the championship game. I thought was just awful. It was just terribly called. But LSU gets a championship. You guys, and when I say you guys, I'm looking right at you, decide to make Angel Reese. Oh, she's on. I was early on the train saying she looks like a problem, man. She acts. I don't like her
You're
attitude.
being proven right, man.
So you can
I
go back.
almost didn't want to talk about this to have to acknowledge that.
Yes, you guys can go back and watch videos from a year ago when Juan and I point out that look, I'm all for. I'm going to back a Louisiana team, and especially Kim Mulkey. I'm a fan of Kim Mulkey, but back then I was saying she looks like a me kind of person and kind of a bad. All right, so fast forward a year, sort of the revenge game. Caitlin Clark wins, beats LSU this time around. They lose in the final,
Handily.
but it is clear that she's the only reason anybody's watching any of this stuff.
Right, right. I mean, I think they've sold out a couple of games.
Wait, you mean in the WNBA?
Yeah. Caitlin
Every
Clark,
game.
Yeah,
Every freaking game, the pathetic. And there's a reason you go to the worst team in the league. What are they? The Indianapolis
Yeah, I don't even
Fever?
know the
I think
name.
it's called the Fever or something. Well, even I don't, anyway, they're a horrible team with apparently a worse coach. That's kind of funny. Now the fact that no, really, their coach is a joke. But what's interesting is you would think if you're in this league and you've been talking about the biggest, the WNBA players and women players always complained that they couldn't make any money here in the States.
Mm-hmm.
So in the off season, they're playing overseas and all these things. So you've got somebody that comes into the league that brings all the eyeballs.
Attention brings sponsorship money in.
To the point that the league probably have to borrow money because they don't have it, but they're actually making some money now because they can sell some of these games.
Yeah.
Because people actually want to. Now, that's what also annoys them. Nobody wants to see any game that Caitlin Clark's not in.
Yeah.
All right. But they start selling. The WNBA comes out and says, starting next year, if it didn't start this year already, maybe it started already, private planes. Okay.
It's on charter this year.
Charter. Okay.
Yeah.
So historically, WNBA players flew just United, bro. Commercial.
Right. Whatever. Yeah.
And I promise you,
not first class.
Exactly. So just that lifestyle upgrade to be able to fly on charter flights and then private flights because of one person. And so you would expect, right, that every time she showed up for a game, they'd be handing her flowers.
High-fiving her. Every player on the other team should be high-fiving her.
They'd be like, Caitlin, thank you. Just like all the golfers were with Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods came along years ago and just destroyed everybody. And they didn't look at it as, oh man, it's not fair. This guy's just winning everything and he's got all the endorsements.
And that's a good analogy because I can remember probably even 5 or 6 years ago when Tiger was well on the decline,
right,
the sunset of his career, even though it's still setting. They would say that if Tiger Woods were in a match, viewership would increase by over 50%, which basically means money.
Money. All PGA, what PGA players got paid back then compared to what they get paid now, it's grown exponentially. These guys.
And so it's the same thing with Caitlin Clark. People are paying attention to Caitlin Clark.
But if you notice, back when Tiger was bringing all the attention and new money into the game, none of the other players were running up behind him and giving him an elbow to the back.
Right. Chipping a shot off his temple. Nobody
was screaming during his backswing or calling him various inappropriate names. But that's what these morons
what's going on with Caitlin Clark.
That's what these morons in the WNBA are doing. And it's really bizarre. And we're talking about something happened. I guess it was 2 nights ago.
2 nights ago, she was playing against Angel Reese's team, another team I don't know the name of, but some girl just randomly just walks up to her and says the B word behind her and throws a shoulder and an elbow,
knocks her down,
like blindsided her.
Right.
Not even during what it didn't seem to be play.
As cheap a shot as you're going to take on somebody. But then to top that off, as that player comes off the court, Angel Reese is clapping and high-fiving her teammate.
And Angel Reese threw an elbow at her later on in the game.
So let's just it's trash. It's a trash
Yeah.
league. Now it may change. If Caitlin, here's the deal. Caitlin Clark's got more money right now.
Yeah.
She signed a basketball deal. She has her own, literally, like Wilson.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. She got a shoe deal and
got a shoe
everything.
deal with
So,
Nike. She what? If she stepped back and said, "You know what, y'all, I'm going to play overseas."
yeah.
It's been nice, but you know what? This league is apparently not what I thought it was. By the way, there's better ball played overseas right now, so she could take that league
Right.
down. So we'll see where this plays out, but
But then they didn't even call a technical on it.
they changed it a little while ago. I just
They
read
changed
this.
to a flagrant foul, I
Oh,
think.
yeah, well, they came back and they changed it to a flagrant one violation, whatever that means.
And then Angel Reese got fined $1,000 for missing her press conference or whatever her media.
Gotta love that. What a hero. What a so there has not been. I mean, she's on Dion level with look at me, look at me, look at me. Haven't found a camera you don't want to jump in front of.
Yeah.
Okay. It's all she's about is okay. And she ducks an interview after that game because she was going to get asked, "Hey,
Yeah.
was it appropriate to high five and cheer your teammate who just
Yeah.
took a dangerous shot at a person you claim to have nothing against?" But look on the upside. We've been doing this about 3 years now, Juan. You ever thought we would spend 5-6 minutes
The A block.
the A blog talking about the WNBA trash league? But anyway, so we'll see what comes out. It's funny. Dave Portnoy is a guy. He has Barstool Sports and some other things. He's pretty funny, and he had some clips, and he kept showing the clip of that young woman or whatever, however she identifies. I don't know, whatever she wants to be called. That gives the shot to the back of Caitlin Clark, and he's screaming, "Make her fly private. I mean, make her fly commercial. Make that." Can't say what he said. Fly commercial. Yep. I just want to say that if any of Juan, if you or anyone comes around and raises the level around here that I am no longer flying commercial, I will never take a cheap shot at him. That's it. Anybody that
Yeah, well, no. We're talking about unusual cheap shots. So last week, immediately after we finished recording the podcast, I went to help my daughter do something. She had she tends to babysit for people in the neighborhood and take care of their pets. And I've talked about that before, how people overpay to have someone go take their dog out. But so she had started these people, it was the first time she had done it for them. And they had, I think it was like a last minute out of town trip, which meant they probably couldn't get anybody to board their dogs. But so the first day, one of the dogs, she was just having trouble getting it to go outside. Yeah, they had him kind of blocked in a section of the house, and then it was growling and snapping at her. So she was standoffish. So I said, "I'll go with you." Yeah, not a big dog. Figured, I'll get him out. I didn't get him out. Yeah, despite me being competitive with the dog, thinking you're not that big. I'll get you. I tried to lasso it with the leash a few times.
what kind of dog are we talking about?
I think like a um some type of terrier dog. I forgot, like a cocker spaniel.
A
Is what it looks
cocker
like.
spaniel. Okay. Was it kind
Yeah,
of a
not a big
long
dog.
hair dog? Kind of long
Yeah,
hair?
kind of, maybe 20 pounds or so, 25. I
Okay.
guess. But it's like he just kept snapping at me, which, yeah, I mean, we tried. I'd throw food, towards we had the door open to go outside. We'd throw food there and go hide, thinking maybe he'd go outside. Well, I tried one too many times. Bit me like a big dog.
Oh man.
Dude, I had more blood gushing.
Really?
Yes.
Where'd he bite you at?
On the hand, the finger.
Let's see. Where's it at? You got it wrapped up or you?
No, I
Oh,
unwrapped it yesterday. See, right
right
there.
there. Wow. Okay.
So I had to go to the doctor after. I figured it needed stitches.
Oh man.
And they said, yeah, normally, a cut that big and that deep would have got about 5 stitches, but because it's a dog bite, they said it's prone to infection. So they don't want to stitch it in
Good
case it
grief.
gets infected, because then they got to open it up again.
Oh, good grief.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping
So,
they gave you stuff, right? They gave you
yeah, they gave me antibiotic cream, antibiotic gel, or pills, and a tetanus shot.
man. Man.
And what was the worst part about it, as far as my wife was concerned, was
She was worried
yes,
about the dog.
no, she wasn't worried about the dog.
Okay.
She wanted people to apologize and offer
Uh,
to pay. And I said, like, because she said, "Hey, look, Riley can't do this anymore. She's not." And the dog bit Juan. And she said, "Oh wow, he's never bitten anybody before." Um,
well, I mean,
and then the next day or something, Joey sent him another note and said, "Look, I just want you to know Riley's upset that she had to. She's not a quitter. She just and Juan had to go to the doctor, and they were going to stitch it, but blah 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 blah, because she just thinking that the people would have apologized, or said expressed some feelings of regret.
none, huh?
Nah.
So
I
these are
said, don't
people.
push it too hard, because there could be cameras in there, me trying to lasso their dog.
Well, you know what? I guess that'd be the kind of thing one we'd have to see cameras and have to, obviously it's unfortunate that you got bit.
Makes a
Uh
good story.
how much can you blame the dog on some things, you
No,
know?
I
Yeah, and I'm
right.
saying you don't sound like you're blaming the dog. You just sounding
Mm-mm.
like thinking like, now what happened? You just reached down to
No, because he was kind of backed in a corner, and the only had like I didn't want to, if I could have gone through the garage and run him out that way, but I didn't want to I didn't know how their alarm was triggered and stuff like that. And so he was just kind of back, and I took just his leash, and it's got the loop in the end of it already. So I
right.
made like a lasso
Okay.
out of it. I kept trying to just toss it over
Right.
his head. And like one time I tried to say, oh, maybe if I could get the blanket over him, then I could just, calm him down. But I
No.
think one of the times trying to, place because he kept, like, he'd pull it when he'd catch the leash in his mouth.
Right.
And so I think I just tried to place it, bigger over his head, and got too close. And
Got a little close. So
yeah,
did it hurt?
like a big little dude. Yeah,
It hurts when a dog bites, huh?
It hurt bad.
Did,
And then so like Riley's freaking out. I ran to the sink and I said, "Find me a paper towel, something." And she said, "I don't want to keep the paper towel." I said, "I'm bleeding all over the house."
oh, I see. Now we don't do this anymore. We started off doing couillons of the week back in the
I would
day.
be it.
You'd have probably put yourself up for couillon of the week, but
Yeah.
I mean, trying to do a good thing. So tell me, is that dog just taking a crap everywhere? It's not going out
I don't
outside?
know. I don't know.
Was that the first day that this was going on, or
The
the second day?
second day. Second day.
So she went, she couldn't get it out.
Right. So I went the
How
second day.
how long are these people gone?
They got back. They're back. They came back like Thursday or something. So
And came right over to apologize?
no, I hadn't heard from them at all.
You want to
And
give
I'd
out
like
their
to know if she's gonna get paid for the 2 days she did.
address? I mean, yeah, that sucks. You were trying to do the right thing, but I mean, I guess a dog, you know,
Well, dog was scared. I mean, it's I
totally
don't blame
get
the
it. It's like,
dog.
I don't know who you are, and you're in
Yeah.
my house
Yeah.
and you're trying to put something on me. Stranger danger, stranger danger.
Yeah.
You put your hand down there.
Yeah. Well,
Well, some dogs yeah, look, we when we got the backyard of the house in Thibodeau fenced in to be able to let the dogs run outside. You'd have thought the first time we opened that door and said, "Come on, guys, let's go." They'd have been like, "Woo, yeah." Man, no, they kind of stood there like, it's a
yeah.
trick. It's a trick. I've been yelled at all my entire life for trying to run outside when the door was open, and all of a sudden you're trying to
Yeah, now
think
you
about it.
want me to
You've
go.
had dogs for years. You've been yelling whenever the door was open. Then get in here, get in here, and all of a sudden you're going, go get out, go, go do your business.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know, but yeah, um, it's all bad. I mean, the hard part, or the worst part about it being Yeah, because I had to put like a stupid splint on it and everything, which I hated.
Yeah.
But then like that, yeah, a few hours into it, I could feel my ring. I mean, my finger swelling. It's on my ring finger.
Okay.
And I asked the girl at the doctor, I said, should I take my ring off? And she said, nah, it'll be fine.
She doesn't know. She doesn't know. I wish
Uh,
they would just be honest. I got nothing against people that work in doctors' offices. I got a sister who works in a doctor's office. I'm no problem. But just you don't know. You don't know. They'd
right.
be like,
Well,
"Hey,
this was,
can you get your ring off? You better get it off now."
yeah, because so I tried to get a couple hours later when it was hurting and because it was swelling, I tried to get it off. And, spinning it off. Well, as I spin it, it basically rips it open again.
That's okay.
So I should have
So
known better.
everybody out there listening, you're welcome for those frissons you just got.
Yeah, it was, it was Memorial Day. So I went to like the after hours clinic and, they said, your provider will be with you shortly. And said, my provider? What does that mean?
Provider. You'll provide. Well, hey, true story. And I don't think I talked about this. My wife apparently was bitten by a spider,
Oh, ouch. That'll tear you up, man.
and it looks like twice. It looks like she had something on her lower arm, like on this side, on the like the
Hmm.
inside fold, maybe near your arm, and then on the back of the arm. And we go through these things because uh, my wife is she has interesting takes on the things that scare her and the things that don't. They don't always work with me. Like things that she's paranoid about that I'm not, and she's always thinking whenever something gets bit, there's something in our house. She's always convinced. She's been convinced for 10 years we have bed bugs. I can't tell you how many times we're pulling off the sheets, we're looking over, because she'll have bites on her. But my thing is always, honey, we go outside. We've got a
Yeah.
back deck here full of potted plants and various things, and it's a jungle, and and but she was, kind of convinced that it had to be, and that's the thing apparently about a spider. Now, luckily, it doesn't appear that it was. The recluse is the most dangerous one.
Yeah.
Brown recluse. That's really bad news. And then a black widow. But any spider bite is
Well, it'll swell. It'll get you like a big old knot on it.
it'll do that, and then you start seeing a little like streaking, and then like she had a
Mhm.
big patch, a big like
Yeah.
reddish.
That's
And
infection.
it's so, and like that happened also on. It must have been Memorial, because she ended up, yeah, she called a teledoc or something on the Saturday night, got through to somebody who uh, prescribed an antibiotic and whatever to our pharmacy,
Hmm.
which said was open. She even looked online; it was open on Memorial Day. The drugstore, the what is it, Eckerd, Walgreens. Walgreens was open. But you know what wasn't open on Walgreens on Memorial Day? The pharmacy. So,
Walmart's was.
was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I have to rethink that. So um, but then, yeah, when I saw, when she kind of showed me, I was like, oh, and we start talking about it and like, well, and I don't, she's more interested in looking under the bed and we are like washing everything. And I'm like, how about we just kind of watch what's going on with your,
You see, that's what kind of creeps me out more than anything about a spider bite is just the thought that there was a spider crawling on me and I didn't know it.
yeah, but Juan, let me tell you, later on, and I got to be careful because I don't want to walk into the buzzsaw, ask the wrong question when somebody's aggravated. You don't want to, you don't want to, right? You just know, like, let me just avoid. But later on, when I was trying to say, now, when did you notice? And I'm having to do the backwards detective work without trying to be too, you know. She had watered the plants like a few hours earlier. She had watered the outside plants, and I was like, honey, I would bet money that a spider got on you when you were watering the plants. And it probably stayed on you somewhere or whatever until you sat down or whatever.
Yeah.
And
Could have been a little, you got on your shirt, got on your shorts. Little T90 spider.
you know. But yeah, so it took a couple and then you start looking up, and then I'm looking at put ice and so
Mhm.
I'm all of a sudden doing the either the Google or the Chat GPT, what do you do for spider bite stuff too, which again, shy of us being able to give ourselves antibiotics, there's no reason to go to a doctor anymore. It's just like everything, I promise you, there's nothing that dude literally. It's the last the last of what's the word
It's
I'm
a
looking
last resort,
not the last resort, but the
a
gatekeeper,
last
the last
line of defense.
you would think that some antibiotics would at least be, I guess antibiotic salve is
Yeah.
available, but just random antibiotics ought to be just what it is. Or
I
a
don't know,
vending
man.
machine.
I saw he's retired now, but I bumped into the other night the guy who was the pharmacist in Pankerville when I was growing up.
Okay.
So because of him, you didn't have to go to the doctor. You could just call in him and tell him what you needed.
That was my wife's grandfather down in Montague.
Mhm.
They called him Doc
Yeah.
because I don't think I think way back in the day there wasn't a doc around, and sure he'd get out of bed in the middle of the night and whoop something up.
Yeah. 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 It's like you call on a Saturday night. I'll pick it up on my way to church tomorrow.
There you go. As it should be, y'all. Like I said, I don't know. I was talking to a gentleman on Friday nights. I was in Dallas for this banking school thing I teach at, and
Hmm.
um, good dude. And I never met the guy before. We started talking about that he's one that had. We're just telling stories. A couple years ago, give or take, he passed out somewhere, and yeah, he just passed out, and he was fine. At least he didn't hurt himself, and it kind of came through. And they ran all kinds of tests. He went to the hospital, and he said they ran every test to Sunday. Couldn't find nothing wrong with him. Nothing wrong with him. He got back home, did something. About 2 or 3 days later, he's doing something outside with at his daughter's house or something.
Hmm.
Passed out cold again. So this time fell back and landed on him, like hit his head on the
Oh, hit his
concrete.
head. Yeah. That's
Out.
probably the biggest chunk of the danger right there.
Well, no, he was in full cardiac arrest. And apparently they did like CPR on him for a while, and it's a big bank exec. This guy's like, I mean, he's got this dude. It's sort of like a guy goes to the doctor and everything. I mean, because we started off, he was talking about a ranch. He has a ranch near Texas A&M, and we're just, I always catch myself just having the conversations with people that I'm just like, man, I don't belong in these circles. One guy was talking about, whatever private plane they're on and this and that. And I'm like, what the heck am I doing here, man? I mean, you know, I complain when crawfish gets expensive, and here I'm over here
Man, have you
hanging.
seen the price of jet fuel lately?
I know, man. Talk about jet fuel. You saw what the big crawfish cost now? Um, but yeah, and that's what he said. It was what he told me. He said, I got the bill for that first hospital visit, and I hung on to it a while because I wanted to ask them. Wait a minute, I don't think I owe y'all anything.
Right.
He's
In fact, I think you owe me for the
he
second
said,
one.
but yeah, because I think he ended up having, I forget what percentage, I forget which
Blockage or
which.
something. Yeah.
There's one part of your heart where they call it the widowmaker, one of
Hmm.
the AR or whatever, and but then he got me started on my conversation about pharmaceutical companies and what's worth doing and not doing, and just the pill factory they put you on, because that's what he was saying. Man, I never had to take any pills, man. I'm taking like 11 pills a day now. I said, oh, dude. I said, they're gonna try to keep you alive. You a customer now, right? They don't need you better. They just need you around.
Exactly. They just need you sick. So Joey's passed out a few times, and it's mostly from heat. Um, but I think the first time we were at some concert at the House of Blues, and I mean, just bam, and it's like dead weight. And I'm dragging her, and man, what the conversation then is over there. Have you done any drugs? Have you
Well,
done?
it's a good conversation to have.
Yeah, yeah,
If,
yeah,
if you're at a concert and you just go limp, chances are,
yeah.
you know,
So then the second time, though, a few years ago, we were at this Blue Angels air show, and it's out like south of New Orleans or Chalmette or something on an old airfield.
Rob, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, which means there's not a tree for like miles.
You
And you're
better
on,
bring your own shade.
Yeah, yeah, you're on concrete and it's hot as all get out. So we were leaving, and then you got to wait in line for the bus and stuff. So she said, "I'm not feeling good. I think I need to go sit down." I said, "Okay, but this line's long, so I'm not giving up my space in line. You go over there and I'll keep an eye on you." But then, so she did go down, and I had went with her by then. But you're on a military base, and so they've got to now call the military police and the military paramedics.
Really?
Within a minute, yeah, 3 dudes holding M16s were surrounding her.
There you go.
Yeah,
How long? I mean,
waiting.
she just was she out
Yeah,
for?
she was fine. I mean, they set her in an ambulance for a little while until her blood pressure got back up and stuff.
She got a little bit possum in her, man. Gets a little
Yeah,
flustered, shuts
yeah.
down. She's fine. She'll come. She'll come back. She'll come back. Um, talking about the Dallas trip. So I didn't want to fly because it's a pain in the butt, and it's about 4 hour
Yeah.
from where I'm at. So what I normally do is I'll just rent a car from there's a Sugarland Regional Airport here, not far from my house at all. And there's a Hertz. There's a couple. I forget the other one might be Enterprise. No, not Enterprise. Dollar, whatever. Doesn't matter. But I've been a Hertz customer for forever. Year. I mean,
Or since OJ.
probably. But was he Hertz or Avis?
I think he was Hurts.
He was Hertz. He was Hertz. Okay, I forget. Avis. We try harder, I think, was their.
Yeah.
But so I've rented hundreds of cars from Hertz over the years, and I know at least a few dozen from this place specifically. The local, right? Now it's always somebody in you. You never. That's the other
Right.
thing. So in the old days, if you were a regular customer of a place of business, chances are they're going to remember. Somebody's going to remember you because
Yeah.
chances are you're going to see somebody that's still there. That's
Yeah,
never
they
the
stay there.
never the case anymore. Never. And so every time I go in there, it's going to be the same crew. I mean, when I say the same crew, the same
The same story. Nobody knows you.
story, the same story. They may even look alike. I think they hire from the same casting. Like you have to have a certain disinterested facial expression and just a general aura of I don't give an F. Like that's the okay. So that's it. That's what you get. So I walk in there and it's what day? No, it's a weekday. Wednesday. 10 a.m. No, it was 10 a.m. So I have my wife drop me off and just let her go home because you don't have to wait for me.
Yeah.
I walk in, dude. There are 3 people behind the counter, 1 dude standing around the back counter doing something, whatever, and then some young lady in an office behind them. Lights are off in the office. That's their sign that I guess they're on break or they're not on yet because the lights are off. Right? It's 10 o'clock in the morning. What kind of break are you on?
Yeah, I got that level of postal service training.
Think you opened at 9. I think you opened at 9. It's 10 o'clock. So I'm standing there. Now, granted, I guess I don't look like I just got off a private plane. I guess I don't look like I am baseball cap, haven't shaved, literally wearing the shirt and shorts I slept in. Okay. So I'm like, I'll give that. I looked ready for Walmart, maybe not to be the, so I'm standing there a couple feet from the counter. I'm the only non-Hertz employee in the area, right? I'm like standing there watching. Dude.
And I would assume since there are multiple employees in there, they all jumped up to greet you fondly.
It'd have been like waiting on the apology from the dog owners of the dog that bit you. So I stand there and I'm shouting mental count going on. And I'm there about 30 seconds. And because it becomes funny to me after a while, like literally, are any of you going to look up or because I know some of you saw me, right? And
clearing your throat.
So I finally say, I'm sorry to just nobody in general. Who do I need to see about a reservation? And then they're kind of looking over to each other like,
Which one of us is going to draw the short straw? Waiting
for one of them. So then this woman on the end, and I'm not going to share the picture, but I sent y'all the picture. I sent you and Rick the picture. It says, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll help you down here. Now, while I was waiting, somebody had dropped off a bag, like some Uber Eats or something had come over and dropped off a bag on that end of the counter. This woman literally unpacked her breakfast. So she's in the bag, taking it out. There's a fruit cup. There's a whatever. She gets up to go over to the garbage can about, I don't know, 5, 6 feet away to like drain some stuff off of something, or like she's like prepping her food while I stand there. Did I say I'm the only customer in the place? All right, in this area.
Yeah.
She comes back out, does whatever, sits back down, starts shuffling stuff. At this point, it's like comical. At this point, I'm looking, where are the cameras? Come on. Somebody's punking me, right? And she goes and she gets all her breakfast, whatever, and then she just she looks up and says, I need your ID and your credit card. I said, well, okay. I start pulling them out. I said, okay, but I don't normally have to give I normally have to show
Yeah, it
my
should be
ID.
on record.
I don't have to give whatever. And she just repeats with stone face, I need your ID and your credit card. So apparently English is my second language. I don't know. And I'm like, so I'm just like, at this point. So she starts entering stuff, and then apparently she entered whatever, and whatever screen popped up, her demeanor changed. Interesting. She literally went, oh, my. So you travel a lot, don't you? And you've been a customer here for you've been a customer of hers for a while, huh? And I just
Right.
smiled and said, probably a little too long. Probably a little too
And I got to be honest with you, this is the first time anybody interrupted serving me to fix themselves some breakfast.
Man, so then she's all, oh, I mean, dude, it is so, and then even the young lady that was in the darkened office kind of walks out and says, hey, how you doing today? And I'm just like, man, couldn't have been more fake,
Bipolar.
dude. And I kept thinking, I'm gonna wait till I return my car and stuff. But anyway, I got the survey today, so haven't done it yet, man. Haven't done it yet. I wanna sit down and take my time.
Right. Those are fun. Those are the kind that are fun.
I wanna do it in a way that whoever gets it, I know it's an AI machine that's going to get it, but I want to find out what words and terms I need to use. What scores do I have to give to get an actual human to, my favorite part of my recent rental experience was where I had to wait several minutes as your employee prepared her breakfast in front of me. But there you go.
Yeah. So fun times, man. Going spinning back a little bit back to Memorial Day weekend. We had something, here in Baton Rouge that kicked off last week. Because Memorial Day is the I guess unofficial start of summer.
That's what they tell us.
The Baton Rouge, our great mayor, I think this is the second Summer of Hope in Baton Rouge. So
Summer of
Hope. Summer of Hope, man. Hope for peace, hope for harmony,
hope not to get shot,
hope for re-election.
Is this the person who refers to gangs as groups, or
that was the police chief?
That was the police chief.
He was in her administration, basically. But yeah, there is a rumor going around that they've changed the name to Hope Not to Get Shot, because at the first event there were several incidents of violence, and nice camera work on it and everything, and people attacking police, getting arrested and stuff. But I've also heard a rumor from a local friend of ours in the news media that the mayor's declared this as part of an effort by the mayor and the police department to reduce the response time to shootings by just making sure that the shootings occur where the police already are. It's a collaborative effort between the mayor's office and the shooters.
Look, there are all kinds of signs of societal breakdown, and a big part of that is social media, and a big part of that is, for some reason, maybe it's a power struggle, and maybe there's certain, especially with young folks, that they just think it's It's a flex when you are, I guess it's like fight the power kind of stuff. When you are standoffish with the cops, or you
Mhm.
are, uh, and I also realize why I can never, ever, ever, ever be a cop.
Oh, no, no,
Um,
no, no, not a
I
chance.
mean, they would be so upset with me. Like, dude, did you empty your mace gun again? Yep.
Yeah,
I didn't even make it till
yeah,
noon.
right. I'll warn them before I tase them this time. Now,
Yeah, they would constantly have to be refreshing my taser batteries. They would have to be refilling my, my tear gas canisters. And I guess if you have to shoot somebody, you got to shoot somebody. I mean, I don't know what because I tell you what, I did see the video you sent, and there were a couple of young ladies in that video at a minimum, at a minimum. And don't tase them, like, I mean, tase them between the eyes. I mean, they
yeah.
needed to be just like, no, you know what? You need to check out for a little bit. You need a reset because
Well, the governor now, he's doing some. I don't know, he's kind of a loose cannon at some points. But one of the bills that may have gotten passed this week is it's illegal to you can get charged with interfering with police if you're you know within 25 feet of them making an arrest.
I would go for that. I don't know if
Yeah,
25 feet's the magic thing, but I would 100% go for that because if you look, if you are, and that's where, as just society in general, and that's where I'm kind of hoping that more and more people, maybe we've reached the point of, okay, people, you want to start talking, you want to start speaking up. Can we start calling out some of this nonsense? Because if I'm a cop or policeman and I am dealing with a belligerent, disrespectful, respectful, I don't know, whatever, disrespectful, I don't think that's a word, but,
yeah,
basically I'm amped up. I'm trying not to get
right,
myself hurt, trying to subdue this person because that's my job. My job is
right,
right. You come within 5, 6, 7 feet of me in my blind spot,
right.
pulling stuff out your pocket or doing whatever, or filming and yelling. Hey, man, I don't have the filter to figure out what you
No,
hold.
right, right. It's a personal safety thing. But of course, you've got the people who are now saying that, oh, this is a law so that the police can abuse people and it not be caught clearly on camera.
Now, listen, it goes both ways. If you saw the
Mm.
footage, what happened in Louisville, because apparently Louisville is a cesspool now. At least the cops are. You saw the Scotty Scheffler, right? The golfer who
Yeah,
was
yeah,
arrested. There was a fatal accident around this golf course where he had to get to. And these idiots are out there. I don't even think the cop was wearing a police uniform. He had a yellow vest on, but it was just total confusion. Like the guy
mhm,
was he just thought, okay, get around. He's obviously,
right,
you know, he belongs there. He belongs. He's got a tea time to
right.
go get
He's
to.
gone to where he's trying to get.
And this piece of garbage cop, and I'm sorry, I'll go 98% are great human beings, but there's some that just don't belong. And this guy exactly harassed them, hit on the car, and then claimed, had his body cam off, which is that's a
Yeah,
right. Um, and then claimed that, oh, Scheffler had dragged him by the car. Just total lie that
yeah,
somebody else's footage showed. Um, but then and
yeah.
then they
It's
tried to
odd, and I've been in those situations where you're in a place where you don't know where you are,
man, look.
and they've got their redirecting traffic, and I've not run, but I've rolled up on a cop mid him trying to direct thing and said, hey, officer, I don't know where I'm heading. Here's where I'm trying to go. Is what do I do from here?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not trying to interfere with them, but yeah,
Dude,
I'm
the
a little
fact
confused.
we've joked about this before, but like, just you go back and you watch the old episodes of Cops and stuff. Dude, I'm amazed 100 people a day aren't shot on general principles.
Dude, I had a while back, I got into this, and I think I've talked about that, this wormhole on YouTube where I would watch all these DUI arrests and the effort that they've got to go through with belligerent people and the level of restraint that they show. I said, man, I'm about to punch you through the camera or through the phone just watching this. I don't know how you could sit. So yeah, for the few percentage of guys or cops who do the wrong thing, I
Oh yeah,
could see how a lot more of them would.
that's right. That's right. And well, so we back the blue. Let's just say that,
Mhm.
except Berwick when they gave me a ticket for no good reason. But I was just I guess the guy was doing his job. Talk about belligerent reminded me. So I'm staying at this hotel in Dallas, right across the highway from the campus. And what was it? It's called Highlands or something. It's a Hilton property. And again, y'all, let me just preface saying I like animals, even though we're on a podcast where Juan showed his wound. He was bitten by a dog. Um, it's a pet friendly hotel. Okay. And it's the worst kind of pet friendly hotel because it's sort of it's sort of like I don't know if it's necessarily called a high end, but it's a Dallas people with money kind of
Yeah.
situation, right? And people with money are the worst with their pets. They just are. They just are. It just there's nothing more obnoxious than people of means and their pets. And man, they should have just called it a dog hotel. I mean, because nice and everything, but it looked like every fourth person walking in had a freaking dog on a
Now, I
leash.
wonder, I thought about this. You remember when there used to be smoking rooms in hotels?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, there were a certain number of rooms that were smoking
Yep.
rooms.
Yep.
Are there pet rooms now, or can you just buy,
Exactly what I was thinking. I said a few months ago, I was in a room. Where was I? I do not remember where it was, but there was no doubt that they had a dog in it before. I mean, I could just as soon as I'd walk in the room, I'd smell. Yeah, that's wet dog. That's a wet dog
Mhm.
smell. And it was what it was. I didn't even complain about it. Just okay, that's what it is. But this time, right across from me, I was on the third floor. I was in room three. I'll give the numbers. I was in room 320. Across the room from me is hallway is 319. So some of these people, and I don't know the size of the dog, but it wasn't a little dog. It wasn't the kind that bit you. It was a dog. You can tell when a dog's got some bass in
Right.
its bark. This was a sizable dog. Well, these idiots, and I don't know who they are. Could have been a person, could have been a couple, but I will just they were idiots, or he or she was an idiot. Leaves this dog for it's like late afternoon. I guess they were going to dinner, or whatever, but left that poor dog in the room. What do dogs do when they're by themselves in a strange place?
Right. There's bark.
Man, man, bark and bark, and anytime be quiet. If anybody go by, if I'd open my door to go somewhere, so then I just got to the point of I just stood in the hallway for a while and let me tire you out. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, go knock on the door, make them run. Right. I get that it's pet friendly, but the people pay the bills.
No joke. No joke. And and we're not talking. It was a random one or two barks. I mean, the dog has been going at it for a while, to the point of I'm worried about the dog. Let's have a. Of course, nobody would. Here's another thing. I just realized they did not have a do not disturb tag on that door. Okay, meaning because sometimes housekeeping comes by, they'll go in your room
Oh,
to
really?
yeah. So you could have had a
Light you up.
housekeeping going in there. There you go. Policeman Dave on the job.
Well, I think one of the law, maybe I'm pretty sure it's here that one of the other kind of odd laws, but I like this that they're working on in Louisiana is cracking down on all of the people who will give whatever certification or paperwork it needs for you to say that your dog is uh
Comfort animal or
yeah, yeah.
right. Oh, please. Oh, hey, oh, they need to give them the Trump treatment. Right? They need to give them the Trump treatment. Make up stuff. Turn non-crimes that
Into
may
crimes. We don't
yeah,
have to tell you what those crimes are.
on the worst day, something that might not, it's not even a
Yeah.
misdemeanor, but figure out a way to make that 32 felonies. And
Yeah.
man alive. Yeah, it's the world we're living in. I was teaching a classes most of the day on Thursday. Wasn't even looking at my phone. Whoo, it blowing up by the time I got out of there.
I watched it as live as you could. I mean, I saw that the jury was in and what time they were coming back or whatever. I saw it just a couple of minutes before. So I turned on something, and you could get, I guess whoever the pool reporter or whoever had
Right.
the earpod. And as soon as I heard it, I said, I'm not listening to anything else for the rest of the day. I didn't want to deal with it. Didn't want to
No,
hear the spins, didn't want to hear
it is.
no one's above the law.
Oh my gosh. It really is. That's the thing we mentioned in past weeks. We're coming to it. We've got an interesting time ahead of us because all you needed to know was like last night of the UFC in New Jersey, New
Yeah.
Jersey, not exactly a deep
That's a
red
big red
state.
state there, isn't it?
Yeah, New freaking Jersey, and he shows up, and it was like I mean, it was it MacArthur, like MacArthur riding down a ticker tape parade down in New York.
Down
I
the
mean,
victory parade.
it was insanity. Heck, you saw the fighter that like a UFC fighter got a choke out on somebody and then jumped the fence and went shake Trump's hand.
Oh wow, I did. I'm not
Like
a
several
UFC guy.
fighters after the fight, it was just so it's one of these things, y'all. It's like it's going to get pushed and put. But look, even us. So we talked about a couple of weeks ago, and again, we talk politics, but not like I as opposed to some people. I actually respect people's opinions, and my
Right.
thing is always
if you hate him, that's fine.
if you hate them, that's on you. My only thing I try to with folks is can we agree on a fact? Like if we can
Yeah.
agree on something that's a fact, then you can have your opinion on whether or not it's a good thing or a bad thing. You may like it, don't like it, right? But we have to just agree like what are certain facts, So, or people that are so passionate about whatever that have known nothing about it, have not followed any of it, just
Right.
don't even, don't
Well,
even know.
I had people, and like I said, I don't want to get into it. People who are posting, no one's above the law. I wanted to comment, and which of those laws was it?
Yeah, exactly. You want to stump them?
Because I'm gonna lay money. You don't have a clue.
Even the people that say hush money, the answer to that is that's not a
Right. That's
crime.
not right. He wasn't charged with that.
That's exactly that. Well, it was like an accounting error, apparently what it
Right.
was. But even the hush money stuff, man, that's like Paula Jones, Bill Clinton back in the day.
Right. Right.
Paid her
That's
$800,000, and that's what $800,000 used to be a lot of money. It still is.
Yeah.
But I mean, so I guess that's the whole thing. So we're coming to a point of, you got the inevitable, right? He's he's Godzilla. He's Godzilla. Godzilla, you think they're out, and man, they're hitting him with nuclear stuff and lightning bolts, and that just makes them stronger. It's
Well, he had like the biggest, I think, a record fundraising haul the 24 hours after that.
apparently somebody sent me something this morning that he opened a TikTok account, and he had like a $500,000.
Which
Trump.
kicks?
What was that?
Well, I'm not familiar with Kickstock.
No, TikTok.
Oh, TikTok. Oh, TikTok. Oh,
I
yeah,
won't
saw
do it.
that.
I won't. I mean, somebody sent stuff. I mean, I will not have a TikTok. I won't have that on my phone. But apparently he got a 500,000 followers in the first 30 minutes. It's insane. It's insane. So gonna be an interesting summer. Gonna be an interesting summer. And I don't know, talking about influence about stuff. At that restaurant I was at, there's a at the hotel, there's a restaurant called Knife. And whenever you have a restaurant name something hip like that, it's going to be kind of upscale, fun, overpriced, which it was, but not too bad. But I went there one night. I was tired. I didn't want to go with anybody, so I just grabbed dinner on my own. And when you walk in, especially for dinner, you're that lone loser. They're not going to give you a table, even a small table. They put you, and this one, the kitchen's kind of open, but they put me sitting, I guess, at a bar in front of the kitchen that has glass. But I'm basically, and I'm kind of on my phone doing whatever, but I'm looking into the kitchen.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's Gordon Ramsay, and I haven't watched many of those shows. I don't know if they made it hip or it's always been that the kitchen staff and the wait staff hate each other. I mean, like openly, like curse at each other. But or one of the the wait staff saying, like, pushing on something, he's like, hey, just watching the fight, and then they'd ordered something and it was done too early, and it was kind of sitting there, and remember he just walked over, he says, the chicken hasn't even dropped yet, who did that? Go give that to the dishwashers. He took some decent size, expensive plate of food and say, go give that to the dishwashers, go bring that in the back.
Should have threw something against the glass and said, "Hey, bro,
Hey, dude, I ordered a burger. I'll eat whatever you got right there. Just yeah.
pack it up to go."
I ordered one of your $18 burgers. Of course, a Wendy single runs you about $6.50 in a drive up. So I guess a nice hamburger.
I got a 3-piece at Popeyes today, no drink. It was 12.
Man. Oh, and by the way, shout out my younger son has joined my disdain for pickleball. He yesterday morning, he must have been, for him to do this, he wasn't even working, but he set an alarm, got up early to get to the gym, Thibodeau Fitness Center, whatever it is, next to the hospital.
At the hospital, yeah.
Get at the basketball gym, get out there and start putting up some shots. And he'd been out there for a little bit putting up shots. And then his husband and wife asked if it was possible if they could have that side of the court to set up pickleball.
Set up their pickleball. I think people have their own nets and stuff.
Yeah, well, up there, and he's so he ended up having to shoot on a side goal, which anybody that plays basketball, the side goals are not what you want to you playing on the court. He's a nicer guy than me, He kind of did. And so he was having on the phone with him. He was making a lot of pickleball jokes, having fun with that. And I told him, I said, "You better than me," because I would have flat out told him I'll be done in 15. Even if I was done. Even I was even if I was walking toward the exit when they asked if they could take my court to set up the pickleball, I'd have said, "I'll be done in 15," and I'd have made them watch me shoot shots for 15 minutes.
Yeah, just watch it cool down.
So it's a virus, y'all. We can't nip it in the bud. Apparently, it's pretty widespread.
It's worse than a spider bite.
But good to know my son has joined me in the anti pickleball. Whatever. What was the other one here? Oh, it's at Holman's, our favorite place the other day. My wife and I, and this guy sitting there. I'm not going to describe him because it sounds like I'm profiling, but he's outside, and later on, he lights up like a cigarette or something, and I'm like, it was outside. I'm like, oh, I don't want to deal with this. So we went somewhere else. We went sit around the other side of the building, starting the street, and then this guy comes up, like with a sign for package. I'm like, and we weren't near the entrance. And he was asking me, "Where's the entrance to this place?" And I'm like, yeah, other side. So yeah, I didn't think about it. He goes, "That dude was waiting for a package." Like this dude. And then he's at the bar. When I go to pay my bill to leave, he's also there. It's got checks and stuff in it. It's got he's on the phone with somebody. And I'm like, and again, I don't want to be profiling, but he looked like the kind of guy.
Yeah, nothing nefarious going on there.
Nothing nefarious going
on. I often get mail at a restaurant or bar.
I often go hang out at a bar waiting for somebody to come have me sign for something. But there you go. Could have made a citizen's arrest, Juan, but I did not. Yeah. Or just ask him some questions. Hey, so what's your business there, sir?
Yeah. Well, what are you getting here? That's weird.
Quite a few checks in that envelope you just opened up. And part of me wants to say, why are you opening that up standing at the bar? What are you doing? Yeah. If I'd have been a cop, I'd have tased him, but I'm not.
Well, so exactly.
I'd have been on video. Been on video. Summer. I'd have started his summer of hope.
Summer of hope, dude. It could have been the second weekend.
All right. Well, you know what? I hope America is happy with the buffet. It's out there.
It's there.
It was laid out, y'all. We're going to push the button, see if any of this stuff stuck to tape, and remind you again, if you want to reach us, ain't that hard to find. It's Dave and Juan at protonmail.com. And
here or wherever you listen to podcasts.
You found us before, find us again. Wherever you at, this is where we're going to be next week.
That's where we are.
We'll see you there. If you get here, we're not there yet. Hang on, we're coming.
We're coming. We're going to be there in a minute.
We might have been detained on the way, but we will.
Something could have happened where I set my alarm, my reminder at 5 to 7. And then I lose track of time, and all of a sudden it's 7:10. And
these things happen. Just know it's not on purpose. If it's not on time, it's not on purpose, y'all. It's not. Every week, this week is no different. It's not a suggestion. It's not a hint. We ain't implying.
No, man.
We ain't giving you a little nudge thinking this would be a good idea, y'all. It's a freaking
mandate, man.
Mandate from this program. Get out there and live your best life. Go for it. Take your shots. Take your shots.
Well,
Have
look,
your
man, look,
own summer of hope.
Donald Trump convicted of 34 felonies within 12 hours had raised the most money ever. The
Man.
best fundraising haul ever.
Went to UFC, cheered like again a returning hero, even shaking Joe Rogan's hand. That's it's like, hey, there you go. So even your bad weeks,
You could find a way to make it the good ones.
you can turn that stuff around. Give that a shot, if you will. And so until then, all of y'all have a fantastic week. We look forward to seeing you next week. Love you, bro.
Back at you, man. So I'm beginning to wonder if I can continue to take my dad out in public. Not to that extent, but we had this thing last week, and it's the newspaper here does a big deal. They call it Star of Stars, and it's the top athlete in each sport, and they come together like for some banquet. Not a banquet because there's no food, but just like a big awards presentation. And like LSU's former baseball coach Paul Maneri was the keynote and stuff. Well, he's already hard of hearing, but he wears hearing aids. But when there's like a lot of background noise, I think he turns them down because it drives him nuts. You could follow the program with each person to see their name and the sport. The man asked questions and talked above the fray the entire time. And I'm there like, shh. But not just regular questions. Like, the picture of the girl who won for softball. Well, she's batting. So she's got the whole helmet on and stuff. Mm-hmm. And he sees it, he says, softball? I thought softball was for girls. And I said, stop it. I said, it is for girls. Stop that. But he doesn't hear me responding. So then when she comes up there to receive her award in a dress, oh, it is a girl. And I said, her parents could be sitting next to you. Be quiet. No. Students with, which tends to throw me off a bit. You got girl students, high school students with, all but full leg tattoos.
Yeah, you have a little bit of
that. I'm not sure how that's doable, but you get comments on that stuff too.
Oh man, look at that!
Yeah, look at that tattoo. That's high school.
It's over. Go home.